Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey, and I hope you're having a great day. I forgot to take my pills. I realized it right as I hit start. Oops. These things happen. Hope you're having a good Monday. Kind of skipped the whole Sunday thing. Did you miss me? I just took the day off and played with the kids some more. Tried to get some sleep. That didn't work out too well. But I'm here. I'm happy. Well, not much else I can really hope for, I guess. Little Butt and her sister were up, and then Pumpkin came over, and they were all here yesterday. No, technically Saturday, whatever day that is away from now. And I just had a really good time with them, but oh my, did they wear me out. They just kicked my butt up and down. And then today, I accidentally pulled a curtain rod down, and I was trying to get it back up, and I was standing on a bed to do so, and I fell off the bed. I was gonna just skip tonight as well. I was like, maybe I'll take 2 days off. And then I saw the news. And not just the news, the weirdness of it. Pete Buttigieg, we never have to learn his name because he's going away, you guys. He's quit. He's dropped out of the race, which is really weird because it's only 2 days until tomorrow. Literally tomorrow is Super Tuesday. At least stay in and see what happens. You've spent all that money. You've spent a shit ton of money on this campaign. Why not just go a little bit more? And the really weird part about it is Buttigieg, he was on his way to a campaign rally, and the plane he was on got rerouted. They're like, man, you know what? Fuck it. We're just done. We're done now. What was his reason? Asked Pete. I didn't see an actual reason. Usually you hear like Tom Steyer dropped out the other day and they'll say, I don't see a clear path to victory here. We've crunched the numbers and it's not going to happen. Which isn't, look, a lot of these people should look at that and go, yeah, that's probably right. We have no chance in hell here. But it's weird the way it happened, that in the middle of a flight, it seems like they decided to, literally change directions. The flight gets rerouted and they're like, yeah, we're dropping out. President Trump has a theory because of course he does. He thinks it's the Democrats trying to screw Bernie. President Trump has been on this for a couple of days that the Democrats are trying to screw Bernie, and this just happened again suddenly like this. There'd been talk about him not getting or having enough campaign funds, and again, real quick, I need to say this. Just because I didn't see it doesn't mean he didn't say, well, we don't see a path to victory. He may have actually said that. Just the stories I read didn't mention it. But one of them did mention that he said this wasn't related to missing his fundraising goal. His fundraising goal, I forget the exact number that he was trying to hit. God, I hate when I'm bad with numbers or bad with memory. I forgot what I'm bad with, you guys. But he missed it by $1.6 million. But they said, no, that's not why we're dropping out. And I believe that. I believe that with his campaign, 1.6 million is probably not enough to torpedo it quite yet. Now, I would believe that, he looked at the polling and everything and was like, yeah, there's no way for me to win. Because looking at Super Tuesday, Buttigieg isn't even a factor in any of that. If you look at what happened in South Carolina, it's like nobody cares about the guy. But I've been talking to you guys about this for a long time now. Democrats are cannibalizing each other. Pete is pulling votes away from Amy and Biden, and I guess now Bloomberg. But he's pulling those votes away. Here's what I think happened, and I gotta be honest. I have no reason to believe this other than it's what makes sense to me. There's no proof of this. YouTube, if you're still listening, this isn't a conspiracy theory. It's what I think probably happened. Everybody knows that these campaigns are cannibalizing each other. Him and Klobuchar have no real chance in hell. The only way Klobuchar has a chance in hell of becoming president is if Joe Biden or Bernie Sanders, actually, if both of them die at the same time. And then even then, I think people go, look, Mike Bloomberg's trying to buy his way in, but at least he's not her. So those two really don't have any reason to be here other than to pull votes from other folks. All power to them. Go ahead, stay running. That is your right as an American. Please do. But let's be honest about it. Amy Klobuchar has as much chance of being president as I do right now. And again, that's not to say nothing can change. Not saying nothing can change. But as of right now, they're just spoilers, as they're called. Just somebody there to spoil the party for one of the people who actually does have a chance. So what I think happened is Buttigieg is on this plane, and he's probably been in contact with, I would bet, the Biden campaign. And they're like, look, drop out of this race. Drop out of this race. And if you do, we will have a cabinet position for you. We will give you a cabinet position. That's not unheard of in politics. And that's what Trump thinks happened, but he has a little more conspiratorial mind that the DNC had something to do with it. I think it was probably just the Biden campaign. The DNC probably was hoping for it, and they may have given their opinion. But yeah, I think this is just a buy off with a cabinet promise. Yeah, you excuse me, guys, I have a weird cough. But if you drop out of this race, we'll make you Secretary of State, and then in 4 or 8 years, whichever, you can run again. You can run again, and you'll have this federal job you had, because right now he's just the mayor of a town. I think the only one left is Tulsi, because Tulsi is still technically in the race. Last I heard, Tulsi Gabbard is the only person who doesn't fit what I told you guys from the very beginning. We do not elect House members, and we don't elect fucking mayors. We elect senators and governors, and occasionally rich guys who've been in the media for decades. Mike Bloomberg, I mean, he could be an exception. He's another rich, very powerful, wealthy man. But he was also, and he was just a mayor. He was only a mayor, but this is the mayor of New York City. New York City has populations bigger than some countries, a population bigger than some countries. So he has a little more, standing, I guess. But we don't hire mayors to be president. It's just not something we do. It's not something we do. We look at it's like, okay, look, you're in the minor leagues. Come up, be a senator, come up, be a governor, and then we'll take you seriously. So yeah, I don't think it's a whole big deal. I don't think it's the Democratic Party out to get Bernie. I think they're probably relieved by it. And okay, I don't want to say I don't think it's them. Maybe they had a hand in it. Maybe they helped broker a deal. But this flight turning around mid-flight, changing its path mid-flight, that's really weird. That's weird. And that to me says, yeah, okay, yes, I'll take that position when you get elected. Cool beans. It just seems like a buyout. Seems like a buyout. But Trump says Buttigieg's exit is a sign Dems trying to stop Bernie Sanders. Moments after former South Bend. Wait, I thought he was still the South Bend, Indiana mayor. He's not? He did. Anyway, moments after former South Bend, Indiana mayor Pete Buttigieg told supporters he's ending his presidential campaign Sunday, President Trump said it reflects the growing pressure among moderate Democrats to consolidate in order to blunt the rise of progressive Senator Bernie Sanders. Dun, dun, dun. Trump tweeted, Buttigieg is out. All of his Super Tuesday votes will go to sleepy Joe Biden. Great timing. This is the real beginning of the Dems taking Bernie out of play. No nomination again. And this article goes on to talk more about it, but the Democrats don't want Bernie. I don't know how many times I can repeat that. They really don't want Bernie because they know that is a loss. They know that's a loss. So they're trying desperately to get somebody else in there. I am surprised that they're going all in with Biden. I mean, he had that good showing there in South Carolina, but I don't think you should put too much weight on it. On it, in it. On it, to it. Give it too much weight. What? Sorry, there's a weird thing on my timeline. I don't know why I was even over. Oh, because I was sending Jack the link. Jack, if you want to come hang out, I hope you're feeling better, man. Now we can stop trying to say his name. You learn his name. Yeah, that's what I said at the beginning here, Jack. It's like we'll never have to know it. The only way we'd have to know it, and I'm telling you guys, he was promised a cabinet position. It's the only thing that makes sense. It'd be different if they'd canceled the rally and the plane, had a new destination before they ever took off. But how in the fuck are you 10,000 feet above ground and you're like, I just suddenly the clear air up here makes me think I just don't have a chance of winning. I don't believe that's what happened. So Mayor Pete's out. We're down to Bloomberg, Biden, and Klobuchar as the moderates. Then Bernie and Warren as the loony left, and Tulsi as the wait. She's still in this. So those are who we have right now. We're down to what, 6? Super Tuesday just got real interesting. Joe Faps, thank you so much. Another one bites the D. Well, yeah. Somebody said I should have named this different. Pete pulls out and people are outraged or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I could have done that, but that would get me in a lot of trouble. Torcular says, bring on Jack. Jack has the link, man. I can't force him to do things. I'm not sure what's going to happen with this. I'm really not, because all of the polling right now. Well, let's go look at 538. I want to just see one of the polls. Let's pick any random state. Let's look at Utah. Does Utah have polls? Last I looked, they had some, but they were having issues. There we go. The latest poll here, it's a poll that 538 only gives a medium grade to. Hey, Jack, how you doing, man?
Much better, thank you.
Still sound a little stuffy.
Yeah, I'm still draining. I'm going to try not to cough too much into the mic, so I apologize in advance if I don't mute myself in time.
No, fair enough. But anyway, I'm looking at polls.
Yeah.
Yeah. The latest poll out of Utah, for instance. Utah, this is a Harris X poll. 538 only gives them a C+ for the way they do their polling. I don't know why they're not an A. Sorry, guys, I can't give you any more information than that. But it's the only poll that's been taken since January 27th. So this one's from February 28th. This is, 2 days ago now? 2 days ago. Sanders had a lead, 28% to Bloomberg's 19%. Bloomberg's second. And then following that was Buttigieg at 18. His 18% with Biden's 6% puts Biden real close to Sanders. That gives him 24% to Biden's, or to Sanders is 28. It's interesting. It's interesting to see what's going to happen. Tomorrow now. with Pete dropping out. If his votes will be enough to lift Biden into a meaningful position, because right now Biden won South Carolina convincingly, very convincingly. And I haven't seen the exact numbers, but it was going to be close on whether or not, because of that win, Biden had more overall individual votes than Bernie did. And those are two things you can hang your hat on. But if you go into Super Tuesday and Bernie wins, say, what are there, 11 states, I think it is, and Bernie wins 9 of them, you better pack your bags, especially if Bernie takes Texas and California. He's definitely going to take California. According to every poll we've seen, it's a lock. He's got like a 20-point advantage or some stupid shit. But Mini Mike paid off Pickle Pete with a lifetime supply of anal lube. D-Quad, you know, maybe. But I feel like Mini Mike wouldn't do that because this helps Biden more than anybody. It really does. Because he's the name now. If he does anywhere decent, if he comes in and takes half the states on Super Tuesday, he's a reinvigorated campaign.
I don't know, man. This is just a giant cluster, and the more gaffes Biden makes, like running for Senate,
that one was bad.
Yeah, the more people are kind of distancing themselves from him. All they have to do is not show up. The Bernie Bros will show up just to do the caucuses.
Excuse me. Yeah, you're not wrong there. But that's the thing. The party is panicking. The party at least wants to keep Bernie from getting a majority.
Yeah.
If they can keep him from getting a majority, they can use super delegates to keep him from getting the nomination. I actually watched Shoe on Head's video about this. She's very upset about what's happening to Bernie. Why? And I don't blame her. I really don't. But people have to realize what political parties are. Frank Hubbard, thank you so much. Did you set Trump shrinking? I'm guessing, did you see Trump shrinking behind the podium about Bloomberg? Yes, I did. Did you see that, Jack?
No.
The other day at CPAC, Trump, I wonder if I can find the video so we can play it for people. CPAC. It was an amazing, amazing moment. Wait, do I only have? Can you talk real quick, Jack? Just say something.
Yeah, sure. What's going on?
Okay. No, I had to find that one for some reason. The video was only coming in my left ear, so I wanted to make sure it was the video and not me.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
Okay, this is President Trump at CPAC. And this is supposed to be the right video. I haven't screened it to make sure, but if not, we'll just see some Trump at CPAC.
What? First of all, I need clarification. Is Shoe on Head for Bernie? Is that
she's a hardcore Bernie bro.
Well, no, she's a girl. So do they call them Bernie Bros or do they call them Bernie Hoes?
I call them Bernie Hoes.
Okay, because I was thinking they could be called Bernadettes.
Bernadette. But see, I get you.
It was funny in my head.
It is. That's not bad.
Mini Mike, I'll tell you, the way she treated her. He didn't know what hit him. He's going, oh, get me off of this stage. Get me off. Get me off of this stage.
That dude has showmanship like P.T. Barnum.
He's fucking amazing with it. You're never going to beat him on showmanship because he's just better at it. But when I'd heard about it and then I saw the link and all right. And then when you actually see it, like, oh my God, he did not. And yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. But anyway, I forgot what I was talking about before that question came up. I don't think it much matters. Shoe on Head is what I was talking about. She was talking about how the Democratic Party came on there. They're basically saying, unless Bernie takes a majority, they will stop him. Period. They're going to do everything they can to put an end to his ass. Superdelegates are worth a shit ton. So what'll happen is, guys, every state these guys win, they get a certain number of delegates. And the way the Democratic Party works, you have to have a majority of delegates, in the first round at the convention. So they get up there and like, Idaho, how do you use yours? And they go, we give 5 to Bernie and 2 to myself and 3 to my wife, or however, whatever the breakdown is. And when they're done with that first round, if somebody doesn't have a majority, they go into what they call a second round. So it's what comes after the first round, Jack. Thanks.
Well, I gathered as much. I didn't know how to respond without sounding like a total asshole.
I was actually hoping you would, because I caught myself doing that. Like, what the fuck? Anyhow,
I was gonna let it slide.
Yeah, I couldn't. Not when I heard myself do it. But anyway, in the second round, they bring in what they call the super delegates. The super delegates, what is there, like 500 of them? 100 of, I forget how many there are. There's a bunch of these assholes. They're unelected. They're just party officials, and their votes carry a shit ton of weight. They can pretty much sway the party any way they want to. As long as you got votes, if you get all of the super delegates, you can pretty much win. And that's a little bit of an exaggeration, guys, but it's not far off. So they're saying, look, if we go into the second round, the super delegates are going to give it to whoever's next, because they're not giving it to Bernie. Now, 1984 says they're kingmakers. They kind of are. But Sean had said something that people, you got to understand this. You really do. When you vote in a primary, it's not a U.S. election. The primaries aren't elections, not like a federal election. See, when you go and vote for president, that actually means something in our political world to, your government. When you vote for a candidate in a primary, all you're doing is voting to have that person represent that party on the ballot. And so while it's kind of like it's like the choice of who's going to be up there, the Democratic Party, if they wanted to, they could just say, fuck it, we're going to pick it. We're not even going to have votes. Why should we? You guys don't pick who we want. And this is what I was getting at when I was trying to talk about Bernie. They were asked, was it the last debate or the debate before? I think it was the debate before. The very last question they were asked was basically, will you follow party rules? Party rules say that if there's a plurality but no majority, then they go into that second round. And everybody except for Bernie said yes. And Bernie, apparently he's going to throw a fit. He's going to throw a big ass fit. And that's his right.
Yeah.
But if Bernie's going to claim he's not a Democrat and the Democrats don't want him, he should have ran third party. He really should have. Now, we all know why he doesn't, because it would have just screwed the Democrats completely.
Well, if they screw him out of the nomination again, I don't know why he wouldn't go third party.
Well, at this point, he's too old.
Well, he already cucked for Hillary once, and it cost him dearly. So he could just do it just to be a foil at this point and say, screw you guys. I mean, I half expect that from Bloomberg anyway.
I am not sure why he ran again, to be honest with you.
Something to do.
Maybe. At his age and knowing how they treated him last time and helping set this rule. Bernie was involved in this. Bernie was involved in the way this new system was picked, because in the old system, the super delegates could be there on that first round.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe he feels a little jaded and entitled, like it's
Perhaps.
his turn kind of thing.
Maybe. I I don't know. It's just weird to me. It really is that he decided to run again, especially running again as a Democrat.
Well, I would have thought after he had the heart attack, he would have been like, hey, maybe this isn't a good idea, but
yeah,
what the fuck do I know?
And look, I'm not again. Look, I do think the press is treating Bernie really horribly. I think the Democratic Party, they're telling Bernie, we're going to treat you like shit. But Bernie's kind of signing up for it.
Yeah.
He joined this party to do that. The brick on a string says Bernie is just cashing in. I don't know. I'm kind of with Jack on this, that maybe it's kind of like a fuck you.
Yeah. Well, it could be both, actually. He could be giving a big middle finger to the party and working out a book deal or something. Because I'm sure he's paying himself, but at the same time, like, all he's got to do is write his memoirs about being on the trail, and he's set for life.
Assassin of the Grey says, zero sympathy for a communist. You know what? I don't have a sympathy for him as a communist. I do have, when I talk about how the press is treating him, that's more of a, I don't like where our press is in this country. I had a weird thought, Jack. Weird thought. Help me figure this out, right?
You're in trouble if you're asking me for help.
Follow me here. Would you agree with me that the press is pretty much against Bernie?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. I think they'll take him over Trump, but they don't favor him. They seem to like Warren more.
Well, see, that was going to be my question, because they obviously don't like Trump either. They don't like Trump either. So if Bernie gets the nomination, who does the press root for?
I don't know.
Because I don't think they want Bernie to win.
I don't think they want him to win either, but at the same time, it's the lesser of two evils. You got to remember, they're shallow, self-centered bastards. They'll do what they think is best for them.
But, and this comes back to it, Chris Matthews, when Carlos Maza did his video, one of the clips that he highlighted of Chris Matthews was Chris Matthews talking about how I'm one of the people they're going to take money from. So I wonder, there's a lot of the people you see on TV every night, the network anchors and your talking head, these people are paid really well. Very well, guys. Like millions. Like 7-8 figure deals.
Yeah.
So yeah, they stand to lose a lot of money if Bernie comes into power.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious if Bernie gets a nomination and he's head to head with Trump, if the press will, kind of tilt it towards Trump for a while because they really don't want Bernie to be there.
I think they'll see him as ineffectual and likely to die in office. So if he gets a running mate that's progressive enough, they'll support him because they know that person's going to end up being in charge.
Perhaps.
Ultimately.
D Quadman in chat says, I'm voting for Barry Sanders. I don't know if you were making this joke because of it. I'm assuming you are. Jack, there was a minor blow up on Facebook the other day.
Oh, no.
Garth Brooks was seen wearing a shirt, a football jersey, in fact. And across the top, it says Sanders.
Yeah, Barry Sanders. Even I know who that is.
And it has the number 20. And a whole
God.
It was his fucking number. That's his jersey.
Yeah, I didn't know he was number 20, but
yeah, and a whole bunch of people. Oh my God, Garth Brooks supports Bernie Sanders.
Oh my God, we're dumb.
Like, oh God. You know what? Maybe he did do it that way. I don't know. But the first thing I looked when I first saw the picture, I'm like, what are people freaking out about? He's wearing and then I read, oh my, you fucking morons.
Yeah, it takes a minute for that 1+1 if you know who Barry Sanders is.
D Quadman says Garth was in Detroit too. Yeah, where Barry spent his whole fucking career, his legendary fucking career. Nope. Thank you so much. Bernie's going to take minimum 52% from everyone, though. Well, the truth is, Bernie wouldn't scare me if the balance in power in Congress right now was shifted a little different. The Republicans have very little room to lose in the Senate, very little. And if Bernie were to win, the down ticket is typically going to go more Democrat, which means he would get a friendly Congress. You would have a friendly Senate and a friendly House, most likely. And that's where the real problem comes in. As long as you have a split, one of them owns something, you can keep the worst of the worst from being passed. What scares me is the breakup of Congress. The guy at the top doesn't really bother me too often. Unless we're talking about, Supreme Court nominations coming up. Yeah. And we only really know of one coming up in the next 4 years is probably Ginsburg.
Yeah.
If Trump is reelected again, you might see Thomas retire. He's getting up there in age now too. But he could serve for quite a while and still be fine. But so like this election isn't as I'm not as, I hope that person wins more than another person because the court's okay for the moment. Be less of a concern about Bernie than the freaks who would come along with him. Well, that's going to be part of it too.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem already because they're fucking irritating.
Well, the Bernie bros are starting to get a really bad name.
Yeah, because they're assholes.
Yeah, and when you have a perfect storm of asshole here right now, Jack, because you have Bernie supporters. Their support comes from a place of jealousy. That's what when you play class warfare, that's what you're doing. You're playing jealousy game.
Yeah.
And when you ignite that passion, it's a really dangerous fire to light.
Yeah, envy is a very dangerous thing.
Yeah. And then when you add to that you think he's being cheated, ooh. Jealousy and cheating, ooh. It's a dangerous combination.
It really is. It's a powder keg. Real quick on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Frank, for the donation. How long before the Bernie/AOC have a full-blown socialist party? Also, how likely are the never Bernie Democrats to make the whole Republican Party move left?
The first part of that, when they have they'll never have just a socialist party. They think calling it Democratic Socialist makes them what's the word I'm looking for here, Jack? Less shitty.
Yeah, more easy for the people to choke down. Yeah, I think they'll couch it in something else like democratic socialism or something else. They'll dress it up a little bit because I think we still do have a socialist party in the U.S. I know we have a communist party. They never get anywhere. But I
have
think
a communist party?
Yeah, we did for a long time.
It was outlawed for a long time.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it came back in like the 90s.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they had gotten rid of that. Yeah, guys, for a long time, it was illegal to have a communist party here in the U.S. And I couldn't remember if they fixed that I don't want to say fixed, but changed it in the 90s. And I will say fixed because I'm not afraid of ideas. Say your stupid shit. Let's have that argument.
Yeah, they have a website.
Okay, so yeah, we have them. I don't think AOC is dumb enough to try it, but her handlers aren't dumb enough to let her try it.
Yeah. Well, they're going to try and move the Democrats that far left. And if that doesn't work, they'll try and couch it in something else. What these people do now is infect other things. So they'll move into like the green movement and try and take that over and use it as a substitution, like a wolf in sheep's clothing sort of thing.
Yeah, just a reminder. The only reason Bernie is a independent is because he lost as a Democrat.
Yeah.
If AOC were to lose as a Democrat, she might try to run independent, but she would lose again because the people in that district know that they're not going to keep the seat if they break it up that bad. You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh, look at the cute little moron. Didn't she win a science fair once? So I don't think you're going to see them actually make, we have these we're the Justice Democrats. It's just going to be a little bit of, like you said, an infection in the party. Now, as for the other part of the question was something about moving the Republicans left, right?
Yeah, will people run over to the Republicans? and pull them left?
Probably not. What you're more likely to see is them run over to the Republicans just for 1 or 2 elections. This is why the Democrats are so afraid of Bernie. They don't want to be associated with socialism. They know it's a really, really bad idea. And I'm not saying that they think socialism itself is a bad idea. It's the being associated with it part. That's what they think is a bad idea.
It's all about obfuscation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's what they're most worried about is optics.
Yeah.
They will go to great lengths to hide what they are.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing here.
They create new words. They change the definition of things. Look at how much of the Green New Deal was just redistribution of wealth.
Yep.
Disguised as a environmental program. They've gotten really good at changing the definition of words, and we've seen it so many times in the last few years.
Yep.
And it's all communist bullshit that came right out of the Frankfurt School. So you got to be a little more on your toes.
Professor Chaos says Democrats want socialism light without the tag. Yeah, that's why I could not believe Bernie started using the socialism tag. Even saying, I'm a democratic socialist. Like, are you insane?
I think he's that far out of touch, though. Like, he thinks that he's making it better because he's an old 60s commie. He doesn't understand that that word still has stigma with a lot of people that vote.
You know what I think Bernie Sanders is? You know, the old guy who hangs out at the college party long after he should have stopped going to them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Bernie.
He's the lingerer.
Yeah, and his closest ally in Congress is the youngest woman ever elected. That's weird.
It's very weird, but it does kind of fit the modern day because he's the old guard of the communists and she's the new guard. She's what the colleges and people like him have brought up through the universities and the education system. She's the protege for his mentality.
A lot. I don't know if you guys know this in chat, but a lot of the people you see like on the Senate floor or the House floor, those young kids who are running around in the background, a lot of those are college kids. They're interns.
Yeah.
And I just have this feeling, that, and I have no proof of it, guys. It's just watching this asshole, and he seems like that guy who's never left the party. So like when you have these 20-year-old interns, he's not there trying to bang them. He's just, hey, cool kids, or what is it?
Hello there, fellow kids.
Hello there, fellow kids. Yeah, that's Bernie. And he's kept himself surrounded by these college kids the whole time and embraced that rather than looking at, the rest of the world. This is why I say he's out of touch. Well, I agree when you said he's out of touch. And why I say he's like the guy who lingers at the college party long after he should have gone out and got a fucking job.
Yeah, Johnny Hellcat made the perfect example. He's Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused.
I've never seen it, so I'll take your word for it.
Oh yeah, there's a great line in there. The older I get older, and the 18-year-olds stay the same age, or something like that. It's very beautiful.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't think he's doing it on. And I get the reference there, but I don't think Bernie. I've never heard of him hitting on one of these chicks or anything like. I think he just wants to be the cool kid in the college.
Yeah, he's like the wizened elder of the commies now.
Yep.
And to address something earlier in chat, when I said that he would be set for life and people were saying like 10 years, right? No. See, he's a communist. They redistribute the age wealth too. So you have to add a few years, he gets to subtract a few.
Indeed. Bernie, the oldest person in America or in the world right now, I think is like 112. Bernie could live a long time. He might need like 4 hearts between then and now, but
he'll get them from some young people.
Yeah. He could have more than 30 years left. Think about that. He's going to need a book or 2. Maybe a movie deal. But no, I just couldn't believe he said he's embraced the word socialist.
Yeah, because he thinks it's softer than communist, because in the 60s that would have been true. But nowadays they're basically the same thing. They always have been, but now there's less distinction.
Yeah. Optics though, you know?
Oh yeah, but he's again thinking from an older optical perception, whereas he hasn't caught up with the modern era. He's so locked into that government work mindset, where normal people don't think like that, especially nowadays. So I think he's just that far out of touch that he doesn't recognize it. Plus, he's surrounded by other commies and socialists, so of course they all think that's fine.
Well, with the rise of AOC as well, and her being willing to embrace it and them coming up with this nonsense democratic socialist bullshit, that could be a big part of it too. He's like, oh, see, now is finally the time where we can say it. Like, you can say it. You could have said it all along.
Yeah, but now it's hip with the kids.
We'd have fucking laughed at you the whole time.
Oh yeah, been like traitor, but now he's cool again. The bell bottoms are back in effectively.
Pretty much. Oh God, I bet he still has his.
Oh, you know he does. He's probably got a corduroy vest somewhere.
Bernie is a substitute teacher. Yeah, he's a moron.
He's gonna come in dressed like somebody from Welcome Back, Kotter, and be like, "Hey, kids, what's happening?"
Hey.
Where's my boy Rerun at?
I fucking love that show. Oh man. Hey.
Hey.
What's up, Raj? Oh man. This is getting to be an interesting race. And if you do support Bernie, if you're out there and you're a Bernie supporter, you better get your people out there. He's got to get 50% or he is not your candidate. Sorry. I do wonder if this time, because he said he's going to support the Democratic candidate. But if they go super delegate and he loses that way, do you think he'll support the nominee?
I don't know. He tends to fold pretty easily, so he probably will. Look how many times his microphone's been taken away. Look how badly he folded for Hillary.
Yeah, I get that, but at least in the Hillary case, I mean, while we all knew they were cheating him anyway, they didn't have to cheat Bernie.
No, they didn't have to, but
Hillary created this monster by doing that.
Oh, absolutely. All he has to do this time is, if he gets cheated out of it, just quietly disappear. And then his supporters will get really angry and not go vote. So I think if he fades into this good night, it would be better, but I don't think he'll do that.
I think he hates Trump enough that he would at least keep his mouth shut, if not support the nominee.
Yeah.
But I would love to see him just go, fuck all of you.
Oh yeah. That's pretty bad to get cheated out of it like he did, but then to get it twice, you know, a lot of people will straight up abandon the party at that point.
Yeah, and then you'll see third party voting for, you know, a cycle, which could put a Republican in 2024.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, though. I don't want to linger on this much more, because this was really about Pete dropping out and, you know, gaming out what happens from there, which I believe we've done. Yeah. Man, how you been?
I've been sleeping most of the time.
Good. How's your ear feel?
Actually, it was double ear infection.
Son of a bitch.
And that went into my sinuses.
Oh.
So, but mostly I felt it on the right side because I was sleeping on my right side.
Gotcha.
So, I feel a lot better, but I'm draining, as you can tell.
Yeah.
And I'm coughing a lot more today, but I sound a lot better than I did even early this morning.
You sound better than you did when you were on last. You sounded like death, my friend. And
yeah, I felt like shit.
I'm glad you took your ass to a doctor.
Well, that's due to the lovely chat who
our best chat in the world.
Yeah, I had to go to one of those like those little clinics type things, the urgent care places. And,
that's where I usually go because I don't like making appointments with my doctor.
Yeah.
So just send her a report.
Yeah, right. So that cost me like $100 for that. Then I had to get meds, and they gave me this antibiotic that was not covered, of course.
Of course.
So I ended up blowing like $200 on everything.
Fuck.
I did also buy a couple boxes of Kleenexes.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah. I've already gone through like 4 boxes.
Oof.
So, yeah, I've been draining like crazy. I kept waking up coughing last night. So I got some cough suppressant stuff. I just took one a little while ago, but that's why I'm muting all the time. I'm listening, but I'm coughing so much.
Thank you, Professor Chaos. They will force Sanders to endorse the Dem candidate by threatening to withhold committee assignments. I don't think he'd care. At this point, Joe, or not Joe, God damn it. The fuck is his name? Bernie. God, how the fuck did I forget that name? We were just talking him.
I don't know.
I'm so tired, Jack. I am so tired.
Are you running for Senate?
I am. I'm running for Senate. I'm the Ranting Monkey, and I'm running for the Senate of Great Britain. I don't think Bernie would care. He's going to get reelected in his home state if he decides to run again.
Yeah.
And it's not like committee assignments give you more money. Committee assignments are really only good if you're trying to boost your profile. You say, look, I was on the intelligence committee.
Yeah, that's for people on the upswing, not people looking to roll out their last time,
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked if they did this to Bernie and he's going, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not even running for Senate anymore.
Yeah. Real quick on the Streamlabs. Thank you for the donation, Frank. Any idea how long before Polly's new computer is assembled? I have no idea. I haven't talked to those guys because I called off the show and Sinatra filled in for me. So I haven't talked to him in a while, but I guess Hammer and him are working on it. I don't know much about that. I'm sorry, but thank you for the donation.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, we're brought to you by you. If you like what you hear, please hit that like button. Please hit the share button. And please, if you can, toss a donation in the hat for Jack or myself.
And if you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button.
Oh, man.
But how was your visit with the kids?
Wonderful, yet painful. Little butt ran me ragged, man.
Oh, I bet.
Off. Grandpa. Okay, so they came over Friday night. They got here. They'd went and seen Disney on Ice and then came straight here after that.
Oh, cool.
I got to sleep that morning. I finally fell asleep at about 6:30. And at 9 on the nose, there's a cute little blonde in my face going, Grandpa, it's time to get up. I was like, okay. So I crawled my ass out of bed and spent the day with her. And then that left me with last night. I was so goddamn tired, dude. I was up all day and just moving constantly. There no rest for the wicked, my friend.
There never is.
After the game stream, like, I'm not doing anything else. I'm going to bed right now. I got off the game stream. I turned off my computer. I went into my bedroom and I laid down. And Little Butt did something she doesn't normally do here. She slept upstairs. That's where the guest bedroom is, and she slept with her parents. I'm like, all right. So me and Lady Monkey had the bed to ourselves. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get kicked in the back. That first night, dude, as soon as I laid in bed, she rolled right up against me. This was a very grandpa-centric visit. She goes back and forth. The last time they were up, she was all about grandma. This time it was grandpa. Literally right up against me as I got into bed and slept that way for the remainder of her night. But so I get into bed. It's just us. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get kicked. I'm just going to go to sleep. And I just fucking laid there, Jack. Fucking laid there for like 3 hours staring at the clock.
Of course.
Going, please let me die.
Damn, dude.
I finally, I think I ended up with like 3.5 hours last night. And then right before our game stream tonight, I passed out on the couch for about 10 minutes. Lady Monkey, I'm laying there. She goes, if you fall asleep, do I need to wake you up? I'm like, yes. She goes, okay. And then that's the last thing I remember till she goes, Frank, you need to get up. I'm like, oh, shit. Okay. The only hard part of this visit was as they're getting ready to leave, my daughter and her husband, they went and visited a friend and left the kids with us, which was cool with us and cool with the kids. And they let them get out for a little bit by themselves. But we're talking to Little Butt. Little Butt has a really hard time leaving us. Like, she always gets in trouble because she throws fits. Because she just doesn't want to go. So we talked to her like, look, you'll come back and you'll visit again. It's okay. Don't get yourself in trouble. And she goes, so I can come back another time and I can stay with you forever. I'm like, yes, you can. Your parents can go to hell. You can just stay with me. That's fine with me. But I couldn't say that. That's just what I'm thinking on the inside. But we talked to her and she actually left very calm and very nice this time. It was like, oh, thank God she didn't get herself in. I hate when she gets herself in trouble over me, Jack. That's not a good feeling.
No, but it's not your fault. It's that she doesn't want to go home.
I know. She gets spoiled here.
Yeah, that's what every kid wants.
She doesn't get ignored at home. She doesn't. Her dad he's an amazing dad. He really
but
is.
she sees them every day.
Well, he also, he's got to take care of the baby sometimes, and sometimes he is just worn out and expects her to just go play, like children are supposed to.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with children learning to play, entertain themselves. And it'll be another year before her sister can help keep her entertained. So, she's not constant here, constant engagement because grandpa just can't do enough to make her happy. So it's a little bit different, she's always got a playmate here. But anyway, yeah, it was a really good visit. And Pumpkin came over the one day. So it was all three of them here. And that just makes me happy. Now, the only way I would have been happier is if my other son had come up and then the whole family would have been here. But he's got midterms coming up this week. So he's in study mode right now. And then he's got spring break. So he'll be up for at least a little bit the week after. I enjoy when he's home. We have great politic conversations. And I'm very curious to hear his opinion of the Democratic primary. He's a conservative who hates Trump. He's not actually very liberal. I've learned that from talking to him. He's actually quite conservative. He just absolutely hates Donald Trump.
Yeah, I know a couple of those, but we could have had worse. We could have had Hillary.
Indeed.
But I don't think he's been that bad, honestly. Plus, I find him endlessly entertaining.
He's fucking entertaining as hell. But I'm curious who my son is supporting, and I'm gonna be very careful and not to shit on anybody, just to hear what he has to say.
Nah, you should take a big steaming shit on someone just to see.
Well, we can bond over hating any of them because I'm not fond of any of them.
True.
But I'm just hoping he doesn't go, Dad, I'm a Bernie supporter, because I would be like, are you sure you're just not gay? Because I could take that. I could take him coming home and saying, Dad, I'm gay, a whole lot easier than, Dad, I support Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. No son of mine's going to be a commie.
That's right. No son of mine.
Take that pinko shit somewhere else. Now, where's my gay son?
Oh. Isn't that a sad state? That's how the world has changed. I'd rather my son was gay than a Bernie supporter.
That probably would have been true in the 50s, too.
Probably.
Better dead than red.
Corey says, why me no get notification? You know what? Something's going on with this stream. The last stream that I did, most people didn't get notified either.
I'm on here and I haven't been notified.
Yeah. YouTube's mad at me again. I don't know why. They probably had some change where I should have read their blog and I didn't. It was funny though, Jack. They monetized my Carlos Maza video.
Weird.
I was not expecting that one to be monetized. I expected it to be okay with the, the censors and everything. For them to be like, okay, yeah, we're not taking it down or putting it in a little glass box where nobody can see it, that kind of thing. But that they actually monetize it, I was like, oh, they must not be happy with Carlos either. And that says she hasn't gotten notifications for anything in days. Jesus. Is that across YouTube or just my stuff? Because remember, I was off yesterday. Yeah, I just took yesterday off, Jack. I was so fucking tired, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Oof.
Well, when you're spending time with the family, they take priority.
Look, Little Butt and Pumpkin and Peanut will always come first. It's just how it is. Yeah, as soon as she got here the other day, we were in the middle of Lords of the Night. I'm like, I got to go. I'll be right back. I had to go see her real fast. Oh, it was funny, though, Jack. Pumpkin, she's the middle one, my son's daughter. Usually when she sees me, she comes straight for me. Everything else just doesn't exist until she gets Grandpa. And this starts to happen, and then she sees her cousin out of the corner of her eye and veers off and goes over and hugs Little Butt. I'm like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. How the hell did I get put to second? That was cute because she's getting old enough where she can actually play. So those two were just all over the damn place. It was cute.
Oh, yeah, that's probably why.
Plus, I bought this Family Feud game. It's at Walmart. They have this little area of Walmart in the toy section that's just like card games. It's not the board games.
The Strikeout game.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it comes in a little orange box with Steve Harvey on it.
No, this is even cheaper than that. It's just like in a card deck box.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh no, mine wasn't orange or didn't have no strikeout thing. It looked like the big board and Steve Harvey's face in front of it.
Oh, okay.
That's all. But yeah, so we sat down and as a family played Family Feud, and the people that they survey for the card game version, Jack, they're fucking morons. Absolute fucking morons. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to. I'll give you 3 guesses to see if you hit my number 1 guess. Okay.
Okay.
Things you say to a dog. No, sorry. Questions you ask a dog. That's what it was. Give me a question you'd ask a dog.
Did you eat that?
I asked that, but that wasn't there. That was not my number 1.
Did you poop?
That wasn't it either, and no, that wasn't on the list.
Who's a good boy?
There you go. Not on the fucking list.
Well, they do these surveys out in California. They're weird out there. So maybe the answer was in Spanish.
1984 says, want to go out? That was my question. No, that wasn't on there either. This was all things like you would be talking to your friend. Like, what'd you do today? How was your day? Did you have a good sleep? Like, seriously, I'm like, what fucking moron did this? There was another one that stood out to me. It was words or phrases that have Mac in them. And they had McDonald's, of course.
Yeah, Mac Daddy.
That was not there.
What?
Mac and cheese.
Mac the knife?
Nope. But here's 3 of them that were on there. Macintosh, Macintosh computer, and Macintosh Apple.
Those are all kind of the same thing.
I'm like, you dirty sons of bitches. Those are the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah. It was we had a fun time though. But yeah, whoever they asked these questions of were fucking morons. Oh man, I like doing that kind of stuff when we get together. But the whole time we're doing this, I'm still playing with the kids.
well, that's not exactly something you have to focus too heavily on.
No, we didn't have one person who was playing Steve Harvey. So one person from each team would take a turn and read. So when it was my turn, I just have to stop playing with the kids for a second. We do it, and then I would just go back to half-ass listening.
Yeah.
Oh man. I've been watching a lot of Third Rock from the Sun.
On purpose?
Yeah, I love that show. I really do.
Yeah, I liked it, but it's never something I find myself seeking out.
Yeah, me neither. But I've been watching House on Amazon Prime because
Oh,
it's,
yeah?
as far as I know, the only streaming service that has it on right now, and I love House. And I tend to watch things that I've already watched because I don't have to pay attention, and then if I fall asleep, I didn't miss anything and have to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been watching a lot of Third Rock from the Sun, and I miss my Married with Children. I keep waiting for Al Bundy to come out, and I think they should have a Third Rock from Married with Children.
Oh, that'd be funny.
That'd be a great show. It's Al's neighbors are actually aliens. That would be awesome. Faithless has never seen an episode. It's kind of dated because of course it is.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a
Kyler's-
little bit of an acquired taste, too.
Kyler says Third Rock from the Sun, it was okay, but forgettable. Well, after season 3, this happens with any fish out of water television show. After season 3, there's not that many ideas you can keep doing. So, like at one point early on, they all go bowling, and then there's an episode, I think it's in season 4, where Don says to Sally that he's going to take her bowling, and she gets all excited about it. And she's treating it like it's like the greatest thing ever. And Tommy looks at her and goes, "You don't know what bowling is, do you?" And she goes, "No." Like, you bowled in an earlier episode. We've seen you do it. But yeah, they tend to run out of ideas to do. And especially as an alien, trying to convince people that you're still, human when you've been this fucking weird, this fucking long. And in season 4, you're just finding out what taxes are as a physics professor at a college.
Yeah, it stretches a little too far.
Yeah, so it's one of those shows that I watch more for the I don't want to say the humor. It is the humor, but it's it's a specific kind of humor, the nonsensical humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Night Court better than all that shit. No, I love Night Court. Night Court was great. I was talking to my son-in-law. He's just started watching Cheers. He'd never seen it. And I forget what streaming service it's on, but Cheers is on there. So he sat down and he's been watching the whole thing and he fucking loves it. And he asked me, he goes, is Frasier any good? I'm like, I was never a fan, but people loved it. So you should check it out by all means.
It was a very smartly written show, but it's not going to appeal to everybody.
Are you calling me stupid?
No, I mean,
you just called me stupid.
No, I said it's well written. It's just not for everybody.
You said it's smartly written.
Yeah, because it's written like a pompous jackass would write it.
Like, hey, dumbass. No,
no, I'll tell you when you're being a dumbass.
I appreciate it. No, there was just something about the flavor of the show I never really liked. And I think it was more his dad than him. I don't know. I didn't like the relationship there. And I only watched like a few episodes in the first season before I was like, no.
The first season's probably the weakest one. I saw a lot of it. An old job I had just nothing to do, so I'd watch TV. And they paid me to watch like 67 seasons of TV.
Nice.
I had a Blockbuster card, and you could check 2 out and bring 2 back. So I would do that, like get 2 before my shift, then 2 after my shift, and then use my brother's card to do the same thing. So watched a lot of TV.
No, I told him if Night Court ever comes on, check that out. Because I don't think that's on any streaming service.
Probably not.
But again, that's another show that only worked for the first few seasons.
Yeah.
Once they started changing characters and it's like, no, I'm good.
I think most TV shows only have a shelf life of like 4 seasons, though.
They do, and they should realize that. There's very few that can hang in there.
Yeah. I would say it's different for British TV because they do such short seasons, but you're trying to squeeze 20 to 25 episodes out of a program. You run out of stuff real fast.
Oh, yeah. And especially if it's any kind of show with kids on it.
Yeah.
and the kids remain focused, then they grow up and it's like, all right, now what?
Yeah, they hit a growth spurt mid-season, and you got a big problem on your hands.
You want to see something weird? Just check this out. Go if you have Amazon Prime. Go watch the first episode of Third Rock on the Sun. You don't even have to watch much, just till you know who Tommy is. And then go watch the beginning of season 2, the beginning of season 3, and see how much. If I didn't know better, I'd think they were giving him human growth hormone. Because he goes from looking like he's 9 to looking like he's 15 in a really short time. Nico, thank you. I came in late. Sorry to detour the topic, but I think Sanders gets hurt by Pete Buttigieg dropping out. He does. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Pete Buttigieg, most of his supporters are not going to go over to Biden or to Bernie. Because he's been going after Bernie pretty hard.
Yeah, they won't go to Warren because she's more aligned with Bernie at this point. I think she's itching for that runner-up spot, like you said previously.
I saw a great article the other day. It was talking about how Warren finished so horribly in South Carolina, and it doesn't look like she's going to do very well anywhere else, even though she took down Bloomberg. I'm like, you went after a non-entity instead of the top guy.
Yeah, that's why I think she's fishing for VP. If she can't get it, then she'll take vice president.
I don't think that he would get her as vice president, especially after the whole lying thing. I think that broke any chance of that.
Yeah.
I think Bernie has to, any of these guys who wins, has to go for a young Latino girl.
Well, what if he went with Tulsi, though?
Oh, no. She's not like which one? Bernie?
Yeah. What if he tried to tap her as, not that way, but as VP, because it would be such a weird mix, but she hits all the intersectionality points.
That could work for her and for him, but I don't know. I don't know if you go that way because she is so disliked in the party right now, especially for supporting Bernie last time. And then for even, how dare you even run this time? And don't forget, she pretty much knocked out Kamala Harris, who was, if it wasn't going to be Biden, it was going to be Harris. That's for the establishment, at least. Nico, thank you. At this point, I really see a brokered convention. There's not going to be a brokered convention.
It'd be funny, though. It'd be like, what was it, 60s where they had the riots?
68.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, it's a brokered convention. There's a whole different system now. What it'll be is a second round convention where the super delegates jump in and just make it happen. I don't think you're going to see too many people give up their delegates, which is what brokered tends to be. Biden could still pull this out. He really could.
That'd just make me sad because he looks so awful these days.
Oh, he does. He looks horrible. I can't believe people are voting for the man. And I'm not saying that based on his politics at all.
No, but I mean, physically, he looks like he's wearing down. It's not just the gaffes. I mean, look at how he seems to have aged.
Frank, thank you so much. What do you think Tulsi is trying to do at this point? She's not going to run for her seat again. She may be just trying to increase her name recognition for a run at Senate.
Yeah.
She also may be trying to get a job at a major news station.
She could do worse.
Mm-hmm. I mean, those are the two that would jump out at me right now. She doesn't have quite the recognition to do a book deal. I mean, she could write one, but nobody'd read it. But yeah, she could also be trying to get a cabinet position. The first female Secretary of Defense. We haven't had one of those yet, have we?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who pays that close of attention?
I doubt this is the last we've heard of her.
No, she's got a pretty loyal fan base, and she seems to have aspirations. So,
yeah, she could also move out of Hawaii and go get a seat somewhere else. I mean, that's not a definite kind of thing, but there have been carpetbaggers before, right, Hillary? White suit modeling. No, she's I expect her to be in. I would honestly expect at this point, cabinet position is what she'd be vying for. If not, then yeah, probably a cable news contributor. There's a lot of these guys. Pete Buttigieg is going to end up on TV. Watch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He'll be on TV within the next week, and then after that, he's hoping. I'm betting you, Jack. He's been promised a seat or a position in the Biden White House. Ah, God, I can't believe they're going with Biden, man. I can't believe it.
Got me, man. He's a wreck. I don't know how he would pass the physical.
Let me ask you this, Jack, because you're with me on the whole no commie thing, right?
Oh yeah.
If you're the Democratic Party, do you go with the old doddering fool, the guy who's obviously lost his fucking mind, or the commie when you're worried about optics?
I'd go for Bloomberg at that point because he's the lesser of those. But if you had to choose between the two, I don't know, man. That's a tough call because they're both likely to die in office. Let's be honest.
That's true.
Or Joe might be dismissed for not being all there. So it really comes down to who their VPs are at that point.
Hi, Ellie Bell. She says they can control Biden. Well, yeah, at this point.
At this point, I'm pretty sure a random passing sheep could control Biden.
Yeah. That's. Would you be surprised if you saw Biden walk out with tinfoil on his head?
I'm surprised he knows to wear pants.
Nico says the DNC doesn't want Bernie Sanders at all. I agree. But I also think when you're talking about the way Biden looks right now, that's going to, if he does something like this and some of his gaffes in the debate against Trump.
Oh, it's going to be brutal because he won't be able to mentally put himself back on track while Trump is just hammering that home. Are you running for Senate, Joe? What are you running for? What are you running for?
Do you even know where you are?
Yeah, Biden doesn't have that level of energy or quickness of response and wit. Whereas Trump does. He's got his full faculties going, it seems, for what they are. And I think he can hammer Biden enough that he'll get him so flustered he won't be able to respond. It'll make him look really bad.
Yeah, I think either of those top two, for the Democrats right now, gives Trump a win like we haven't seen in a long time. A long time.
That'll be like Mondale.
If it's Bernie, it will be like Mondale. I have no doubt about that. If it's Biden, it's still going to be really close.
Yeah, I think it depends on how those debates go. If Joe gets up there and starts stammering and losing his place and getting confused, you can't recover from that. There's only so much the press can do to bail you out.
Did you see where he said he can't wait to appoint the first black senator?
We've had a lot of those.
Well, he would be the first to appoint one as president.
Yes, because they run for office.
I mean, occasionally governors have to appoint them.
All the super PACs have to do is start running commercials of his gaffes and say, do you want this man controlling the nuclear codes?
Yeah.
Or show a scene from Katrina and then have his gaffes overlaid. Come on. I mean, there's a million ways you could make him look like a doddering old fool that can't handle a crisis.
Just play the hair on legs, and that's why I like roaches or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
Play that one time during the, I don't know, Oscars have already had. What's a big thing that happens?
I have no idea.
One big commercial, you'll be set. Over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much, James Colley, who says, That's like asking, there are only two choices and no way out. Would you rather bang mom and daughter or grandma and mom? Yeah, but except for in this case, you actually, it's going to be the choice. One of those two is likely going to be the choice. Bloomberg, even with his money, is not going to come out of Super Tuesday likely with any candidate or with any delegates at all. It is an exceptionally bad idea to skip the first three primaries. It's just a bad idea. And it's funny that the last person that I know did this was Giuliani.
Yeah.
And he got the shit kicked out of him for it. You're already late to the race. This race started in fucking April of last year. And Bloomberg he's for the first time really in it on the debate, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, that's just fucking stupid, man. Next to drop out, Warren or Bloomberg? I think Klobuchar or Warren will be next. I mean, I could kind of see Bloomberg going if he has a horrible showing on Super Tuesday, wins nothing. Maybe he goes, okay, I can't. My money's not going to buy this one. But if it comes down to, I'm going to use all three. If Klobuchar, Warren, and Bloomberg, because Biden and Bernie are going to be your top tier for some fucking reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Bloomberg, if Bernie gets nominated, I'd be willing to bet Bloomberg runs independent just to throw a wrench in the monkey works.
He could.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Elysium says Bloomberg will stay until the convention. Maybe. I mean, he's got the money to.
Yeah. What else has he got going on? He's a billionaire.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Real quick on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Frank. Imagine Trump squatting behind the podium with Bloomberg on the other side. I have trouble stopping laughing as it stands. I know, right? That was outstanding.
That was amazing. I think as we see the votes come in Tuesday night, Klobuchar will probably drop out. Warren might. Warren said she was willing to stay in the debate, in the race, all the way up to the convention if there's no clear winner. And she didn't even say, if I still have a chance, just if there was no clear winner. Biden isn't looking real good for Super Tuesday right now, but that's based on polls with Pete Buttigieg still in it. So that does change things a little bit. And I don't think Bernie's going to have the blowout everybody thought he was going to. He still could, just, could. But even if he still wins all the states, Joe's going to be a lot closer than he would have been without Buttigieg's dropping.
Well, I think Klobuchar made a mistake early on when that salad story came out. She should have put a bunch of combs with her logo on it.
Oh, yeah.
And handed them out at like rallies and stuff like that. But she didn't embrace the meme.
No, she tried fighting it, and she's worked really hard to keep it down. And that's why it was so funny 2 weeks ago when Buttigieg went after her, and you could see her visibly getting angry. She started shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to kick his little ass. Oh, man. Ellie Bell says Biden will probably win Atlanta. God damn it. I quit.
Alabama, Tennessee, North Carolina, and Arkansas?
Yeah. I knew that was Alabama. I was going to fix it. Damn it. Yeah, but see, the real question on Super Tuesday is the delegate count. And you got California and Texas. And Bernie's going to end up losing Florida because he's a moron. And it's not going to matter because that's not until later on. And by the time Florida comes around, it may be too late to matter. If Bernie can pick up Texas and California in a distinctive enough way, he could walk out with a huge delegate lead here.
That's true.
And yeah, that's where you're going to see stuff just go like, Climate change announcement in a snowstorm. Yeah. Oh, we haven't talked about we got to talk about the death cult, um, the coronavirus.
Yeah.
It's in the U.S. now. They found it in New York. They had a death the other day in Washington, which needs to be pointed out. That guy was in his 50s, but he already had health conditions. So
yeah.
I read an article today about how Singapore is handling it. Singapore had a huge burst of an outbreak, and it's just kind of slowly trickled off. And there's people that this is how you deal with it. Singapore is like they're not playing around.
You can't.
They're like sending police to your house if they think you might have it.
Yeah.
Don't sneeze in public in Singapore. Your ass is going to be locked in a building. You're going to be under house arrest for, well, however long it takes them to decide that, no, you don't have it. And there's people like, this is how you handle it. Jack, do you remember when Trump announced that he was not going to be, or that travel to China was restricted?
Yeah, they called him racist.
Yeah, this was just more of his racist traveling policies. And now they're like, he's not doing enough as president.
You can't win with them, so just do whatever.
Yeah. Well, I got into several arguments the other day because the hashtag hoax was trending. President Trump came out and said that the way the Democrats are trying to pin this on him as though he did something wrong is a hoax.
It's absolutely true.
And the media, being the shitheads they are, came out and like, the president called coronavirus a hoax.
Well, they were calling it a hoax 3 weeks ago, and now they're saying he called it that when he did. It's so obviously provable that's not what he was talking about.
Frank, thank you. Why are they claiming this is proof we need beef universal health care when China and Italy are having bad outbreaks? Because they'll take one, thank you for the donation. And two, they're going to take any chance they can to point and go, this is why we need universal health care. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's just a matter of using the news cycle to your advantage.
Never let an emergency go to waste.
Yeah. Even if you have to change your tune 2 weeks later and try to blame it on someone else.
Yeah. No, Italy's looking a little rough because they've got a big outbreak and they're already having people, clearing out stores.
Oh, yeah.
And Iran's in a lot of trouble. Some of their major people have died.
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw somebody today that the U.S. is mean to Iran because they don't have enough money to take care of their corona people. This is on the U.S.'s head. Like,
oh, what about that truckload of money that Obama gave them? They could have built their infrastructure with that. Instead, they gave that to Hamas and a dozen other terror groups.
Yeah, they get plenty of money. Iran has plenty of money to take care of their people.
Yeah.
They just prefer to spend it on war.
And this is the effect of that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, would Iran have more money without sanctions? Sure. Does that mean they would spend it on infrastructure for their people? Does it?
I doubt it. They don't give a shit about their people.
Yeah, there's a low priority placed on them. They like to send generals around to teach people to make roadside bombs to try to kill our countrymen.
Yeah.
That's how they spend in their dough. Now, I feel bad for the Iranian people, but
absolutely.
I mean, your country's run by a shithead. That's what happens when you have religious leaders running the place and they happen to be fucking fruitcakes.
Yeah, you get a zealot running stuff and you're in trouble.
Yep.
I don't know. Hopefully we won't let politics get in the way of quarantining people here, but I think we'll see some of that, especially out in California.
Yeah, we've already seen it. I mean, we've already seen it turn political.
I mean, like to the point where they're like, oh, you can't lock up a person of color because they're sick.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised to see that soon, too.
They're giving you the gift.
We've already seen, well, it's racist because you guys all think it comes from Asians. It's like, no, it started there, so people make jokes. Relax, you'll be fine. You'll be okay, I promise.
Well, the flu epidemic from the 1918 pandemic was called the Spanish flu.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't originate in Spain either, but that's what stuck.
Well, we just had that flu believe it or not, guys, we just had a bad flu that killed a lot of people a couple of years ago. What was it? 2015, 16?
Is that MERS?
No, it was just a regular flu. It just happened to be a really bad season. The strain that came along that year was really bad, and I forget the number that died. 10,000 or so people died because the flu sucks. I read a thing today. They're expecting that the people who actually do this, the people who study this stuff, they expect it to be around for about 2 years. Be around for about 2 years, and it'll start out like it is right now. It'll have its blowout period like it's doing right now. And if it follows like most flus do, then it'll start to taper off and we won't hear about it again. It's a big one right now. I do think there's something to the notion that people are panicking a little too much. When you see this sell-offs like you have in Wall Street right now, that's stupid.
Yeah, it's overreacting.
If you're selling off on Wall Street, especially if you hold some big ticket company, the only reason to be selling off right now is to get the highest price you can so that you can buy even more shares when it drops.
Yeah.
When all the morons are in there. I just got out of the hospital with influenza A and I never get colds or flu. Hammer, I had... I can't remember if I had A or B the time I had it. That shit was horrible. Absolutely horrible. But Spanish flu lasted about 2 years. The strain of flu we have now is a derivative of that flu. Fair enough.
Probably.
Yeah, we got new strains of flu pretty much every year that come through. The flu shot you get this year is not for the flu that's here this year.
Yeah, hopefully the CDC can figure something out, get a vaccine pushed through, and take care of this before it gets real bad.
Yeah, again, it sucks, but I don't know. I think people are just panicking a little too much, and that makes it worse. Because you know the worst thing you can do right now? The worst thing you can do is go to a hospital thinking you're sick when you're not.
Yeah. Well, that's how you can get sick, is hanging out at hospitals. That's where sick people live.
Yep. And you're going to go there because you got the sniffles and I might have the corona.
Yeah. Now, if you were in China 2 weeks ago, maybe, but beyond that, I don't think I would. Maybe if you were hanging out at that nursing home licking doorknobs, but otherwise, I don't think it's not time to panic.
No. You overwhelming the system is fucking destructive. Buying masks that the sick people need. There's that too.
You should have bought those months ago if you were going to buy them.
Yep. Panic is great for people wanting to buy into the stock market. Look, Ultranaut, this flu is going to make people billions.
Yeah. I could see a lot of companies diversifying their product supply lines.
Sure.
Because a lot of stuff is made in China and it's screwed up, like delivery and stuff like that. So I can see them putting new companies in places like Thailand or India or back home in the States just to diversify so they're not dependent on one place. That might be good for the country if some of that stuff comes home.
I can see that. But again, it's not something I don't. People sell off stocks for the dumbest fucking reasons. Do you remember when Brexit passed?
Yeah.
The next day, the fucking pound dropped and the British stock market tanked, and everybody went, "It's going to be at least 2 years." And all the smart people went, "Yeah, that's why I bought this morning before you announced that."
Yeah.
Shrouded Angel, thank you so much for the sticker with the black cat. I like black cats. They're pretty.
Yeah, I used to have a black cat. She was cool.
So do we. Make Made in America great again. Yeah, right? Sam Walton was kind of a liar about that. Made in America. Yeah, but a lot of your products weren't.
Yeah.
That's how you keep it cheap, man. Everybody's like, well, I hate that Nike, they've used young labor overseas. Like, yeah, but that made here, that would cost like $400. You'd still buy it because you're a moron who buys Nikes, but I buy Nikes too, but I buy like a pair of shoes every 2 years, so it evens out, Jack. Just throwing that out there. Yeah, we want our stuff cheap. One of my favorite things that has ever happened in my lifetime, Jack, the federal government got involved because it was too cheap to replace TVs. That's why you guys had to switch to digital TVs. There was actually, I watched the fucking hearing where they're talking about the price of televisions and how cheap it is. And so, new flat screens and stuff, that's going to invigorate the economy when you make people switch to this new stuff.
Yeah, I remember that. What a waste of time.
And it did for about 6 months.
Yeah, and that's because everybody had to buy those stupid boxes.
Which the government paid for.
Yeah.
For most, if you were smart about it, they were going to give it to you.
Yeah.
You throw
that's
out.
Just your tax dollars getting thrown in the trash.
Well, the whole idea was, look, people used to buy a television and then they just keep it and have it repaired. Well, yeah, but you're not going to do that with a digital television either. So why the fuck did you make this change, you idiots? It was forced.
It's like that thing with the light bulbs, where they made you switch over to the newfangled curly Q ones.
1984 said they wanted the analog bandwidth for other uses. Part of it. But seriously, you can go. I don't know if they're still out there, but I remember sitting there watching it, shaking my fucking head, going, "This is what my government is doing. Mandating what TVs we have to buy."
They're just bored.
Yeah. Well, they have to justify that money, man. This is where you're talking about politicians being bought. You're talking about the NRA. Most of the people that the NRA would give money to are going to be supporting gun rights anyhow. It's not like suddenly Bernie Sanders is going to go out there and propose free guns to everybody. It's this kind of shit where you don't pay attention to it. Like, wait, TV manufacturers got together to ask the government to force people to buy new TVs? Yes, they did. That is a real thing your government did. Compact fluorescence. Yeah, that's another thing, Faithless, where they got together to tell us what kind of light bulbs we had to use.
Yep.
Because they last longer. They're filled with mercury and are horrible for the environment.
That serves a hate fact.
I know. It's better than those glass ones with that little metal filament in it.
Yeah. That were made in the U.S.
They cost 3 cents a pop. Yeah. Fucking morons. And didn't they have to go back on the compact fluorescent thing?
I think they did recently.
Yeah. But that's our government, man. This is the shit. This is why I watch C-SPAN, guys. Just tune into C-SPAN every now and then. Just go check and see what the fuck they're talking about. You might be surprised.
What was funny with that light bulb ban was that they banned certain wattages.
Yeah.
So like they banned like the 70. So what the manufacturers did was make it like 5 less. So it was a 65.
Mm-hmm.
Shit like that. So they got around it anyway. It was stupid. And yeah, LEDs are better than the CFLs.
Oh, I love LEDs. Those are my favorite light bulbs I've ever used.
I
LED
hated
made.
These CFLs hurt my eyes for some reason.
I never liked the light that came off of them. They were either too white or too yellow. There's not a good mix that I ever found.
Yeah, it always had everything looked like it had been peed on.
Yeah.
Which, that's just a European look, I guess, but
We wanted to be French.
apparently.
And they gave off a slight stink.
That
Um,
was the cancer.
oh, God. Damn you, Jack. Faithful says CFLs suck when it's cold, too.
Yeah.
Fluorescent lighting has its purpose. It's for lighting up, Walmart. But yeah, I love my LED lights. Those things are awesome. Lesser Logic said I had a couple of break. Oh, yeah. George asked, what happened to the super secret project? I've announced this like 400 times. It's just been canceled for various reasons. I replaced my 250 watt incandescent floodlight with 25 watt LED, and the LED is brighter and will last 5 times longer. Yeah. I just like that they last longer because we have one room in this house that we ended up having to change the fixtures on because light bulbs just burned out in them quick.
Yeah.
Like in days. And like, okay, there's something wrong with this. And even after replacing it, I mean, they don't seem like they should last as long as they should. But as soon as I put the LEDs in there, man, I haven't had a problem. I need to, George, I need to just put somewhere like in my description what happened with the secret project. Because I know people can't watch every day. But no, I still have everything saved. But there was a time where the program itself was having issues. And if you don't work on something constant enough, you tend to just lose interest. And I pretty much did.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could fix it now or not. Frank, thank you. The Japanese car companies were a big driving force behind the laws requiring American cars to build small 4-cylinder cars in the late 70s. The American manufacturers requested an extension for their opportunity to properly engineer, and the Japs got it denied. Is that where the because part of the 4-cylinder thing was also the gas shortage, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
I believe you, Frank. I was a child at the time. By the end of the 70s, I was 5. Actually, I wasn't even 5. I turned 5 in 80, so I was 4. I was little Butt's age, actually.
I'll be right back.
That's a big fat no. It was the gas crisis. Like I said, Howard, I was not there. Well, I mean, I was, but not paying attention. The earliest memory I have from news and stuff, television stuff in the 70s is Solid Gold 79. I don't know why, but that was hyped so much it got burned into my memory. And to the point I thought the show was called Solid Gold 79. It wasn't until years later that I realized it was just called Solid Gold, and that Solid Gold 79 was just a special show they did on the new year that year. I'm a huge fan of the tiny pickup truck. I like big cars. I'm a claustrophobic, so I need myself some big cars. I love our van, man. There's so much room when you get into it. If I have to sit in an actual car, I hate it the whole time I'm in it. I do no. Give me lots of room. Trucks are good for that too, unless they have the back row seating in the truck. No, fuck that. That's not a seat, and we all know it. That's where you put kids to get crippled if there's an accident. My first was a Berlin Wall. Wow, PJ, are you talking about it coming down or being built? I'm not being an asshole here. I'm just trying to get my timing right. Because I remember when the Berlin Wall came down, but I was quite a bit older. What was that? That was 89. So I was 14, 15. I know my brother was still alive, so it was probably 13 to 14 when it happened. My earliest newish memory was Challenger blowing up. Oh, I remember that too. I was 84. I was 9 at that time. My first was Clinton beating Bush. You guys are young. God damn. Where's all the old people tonight? They're probably sleeping like us old people should be. I love my Ford Escape. It's small, but the windshield is massive. I feel blind and small. Will, I loved our Escape when we had it. It was a good car. And we went car shopping one time. I looked at it and I don't like the changes they've made since we had one. But no, once you've been in a minivan, man, once you've sat in the front seat of a minivan, that nothing has that much room. 49 here. Thank you. Somebody older than me. Lord Famine, I love you. Thank you for saying that. I visited the wall before it came down. I've never been outside of the United States. Challengers in 86. Oh, my bad, 86. So I was 11. Oh yeah, because I just about said the school I went to. Whoops. I remember the class. I remember everybody acting. Everybody was so shocked. Our school didn't play it live like so many others did. But even when I got home and saw it, I got it. Maybe it's because of how old I was at the time. I didn't care. That probably makes me a horrible human. Jack, I was just telling the audience that when I saw the Challenger blow up, I didn't care.
I didn't really understand too much about what was going on. I actually saw that live.
Yeah, see, my school didn't do that.
Oh no, I was homesick with chicken pox.
Oh wow. A lot of schools actually, they brought TVs in so the kids could all watch it. And
yeah,
like, oh look, the astronauts and that teacher just blew up. Like, I don't know these people. If it happened at this age, I would probably understand it more and feel it more. But at the time, I was like, I don't get why everybody's acting like this is such a big deal.
Well, when you're a kid, I mean, death is a different, almost alien concept.
Indeed. God, I wish we weren't such close friends. Frank, thank you. The fuel crisis started it, but the Japanese were a strong pushing force since their cars fit the mold and it would keep their sales. I was born late March of 86, so I'm only about to be 34. I'm just a gearhead / grease monkey. That's a racist stereotype that we're greasy.
Is it?
Fuck you. I wash all the time, man. Damn it. There's no grease on me, unfortunately. I watched it in class. I can still recall the memory in my old age of 41. I still remember the first time I saw it. I remember the teachers whispering to each other about it. They told us what happened. I'm like, I want to see. And then you see it actually go. And if you actually watch it, it's really horrible. It's really horrible because you can see where the fire actually starts. It causes the whole thing to explode.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they felt anything. It happened way too fast. The oxygen would have been burned up right away.
Yeah, they probably had enough time to think, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I remember thinking how stupid it was. Because after that, and let me get to I don't mean the explosion itself, which was stupid enough, because if they just taken the time and replaced that lining, they'd have been fine.
Yeah.
But for those of you who weren't there, don't remember it, afterwards they had all of these different discussions about how they could prevent it from happening again. Columbia, excuse me.
Yeah.
And one of the things was this ejection port where the astronauts would be able to eject and parachute to safety. I'm like, that happened in like 10 seconds. Even as a kid, not even in my teens yet. As a preteen, I'm like, there's no way the astronauts from Challenger could have made it to that and been safe. The only way it would have been safe is if you had them in little explode-proof pods that when that blew up, ejected, and they were blown away from it. But they were trying to make people feel better about it. Like, it's a giant rocket. It's literally millions of pounds of fuel. Who was it that there was a comedian who once asked, "What are these rockets made by, Acme?" Because if you describe how we go into space, it's stupid.
It's nuts. It's such a primitive way of doing it.
Yeah. You strap a tiny little makeshift airplane, or at least in the shuttle days, this makeshift airplane onto this giant canister of fuel with 2 solid rocket boosters taped to the side of it. You light those off, and it goes up and up and up and up, and then those break off, and then that giant fuel helps the regular things. Like, wait a minute, you're shooting. This is aerospace by bottle rocket. Is that what I'm understanding here?
Yeah, you're effectively just strapping a bomb to your ass and hoping for the best.
Yes. And God bless the men and women who've had the balls to do it. I don't think I would have. I'd be like, I'm going to stand on the ground because it is beautiful. My desktop is a picture of the shuttle taking off. That's a true story. Huh. It almost always is. I use different versions.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that.
Isn't that gorgeous? I love night launches, but I couldn't find a good night launch that I liked.
Oh yeah, it's cool looking.
I love playing Kerbal and watching all that stuff. I love the space program, but it's fucking retarded. I suppose it works, but very much like that dude the other day who steam powered his ass into the ground. It doesn't always make the most sense.
Yeah.
Ranting or Metal Hurlant Chronicles, the Challenger story as told by Ranting Monkey. Look, the Challenger didn't have to happen. That was some bullshit of NASA not wanting to miss a deadline again and not being safe with a giant fucking rocket that they were going to set on fire. Can we talk about Chris Chan? What about Chris Chan? Peter says, then there's SpaceX. Okay, so we're going to fire a rocket in space, then fly it back to Earth and land it on its tail. That's nuts, and it works. It is nuts, but it seems to me that by now, do you remember, I don't know how much you follow the space program, Jack. There's long been a plan to launch an actual space plane.
Yeah.
And we can't figure out how to do it.
Allegedly, unless you believe in the secret Space Force.
I think the Martians have told us if we do that, they're definitely going to attack from the dark side of the moon.
Probably. But, we do have the reptilians here, so it might turn into a land war.
B Junkie says, listen to What We Saw podcast on the space race. Really good. Look, I think it looks really cool. I just think it sounds really fucking stupid. And I get it. We've had lots of successful launches or rockets launch and stuff, but what was it? Apollo? See, 11 is the one that landed on them. And was it 9 that burned up on the launch pad?
I think so.
I forget the exact numbers, but yeah, it burned right to shit. And they're just standing there going, well, fuck. And then the Challenger blows up and like, we're gonna make this string that they can jump out on. Like, oh, you guys are morons. You're smart. I mean, you can get a rocket into space. There's got to be a more efficient way to do it.
Yeah, I think SpaceX or somebody like that will figure it out before the government does.
Well, that's the problem with government work, Jack. That's not saying anything. I mean, the people that work for NASA are fucking brilliant. They're literal geniuses. But when you're not being pushed, when there's no competition, SpaceX, they came out, they're like, we'll do it.
Yeah.
Space catapult. Yes. Trebuchet. Yes, exactly. Faithless. Number
Well,
one.
I mean, they were talking about an elevator into space for a while. It's like, that's
still a plan that's floating out there.
Oh, it's weird and dumb. Nobody's going to do. How long would that take? You don't want to get the bends on your way up to space.
Oh, man.
Now approaching floor 37. God. No, I think that if they have a space plane, it'll be some military thing.
Yeah.
Before it's ever allowed to be used for civilian purposes. But yeah, I don't know. It just seems like when you get a bloated government agency, you get hamstrung by a bunch of regulations and linear thinking. You're not allowed to think outside of these parameters of rocket technology. You always hear that from them. Oh, no, that's why they always say space aliens can't exist because, it would take too long to get here. Yeah, based on our primitive nonsense, we're still using rockets from the 40s.
I always tell people that when they're no, I don't think aliens could have visited here. It would take too long. Like with our technology, yes, it would. It would take. Look how long it's going to take us to get a person to Mars by the time we actually put one there. Just the flight itself, it's months.
Yeah,
to our second closest neighbor. Frank, thank you so much. But Monkey, that socialist told me capitalists only take what the government already created. Capitalism doesn't do anything for anyone. Well, yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah,
unless you like Tang.
Well, everybody likes Tang.
I never liked
anybody
Tang.
that says they don't's a liar.
I don't like Tang.
What? No, that's not true.
I like Kool-Aid.
Do you like Kool-Aid better, or do you just hate Tang?
No, I don't like Tang. I don't think it's flavorful enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I don't hate it. It just tastes like watered down Kool-Aid to me.
That's basically what it is.
And I don't like watered down Kool-Aid. I want all the sugar it's supposed to have. Evolved Potato says, what's Tang? Stop it. Oh, wait. Evolved, are you a Aussie? Do you guys not have Tang over there?
They might not. And he's pretty young, too.
You know what else they don't have? Freedom.
Well, they got more than China, so that's something.
Yeah, it's a low bar. They don't have freedom, and they can't just walk out into the middle of the country without being attacked by something horrible.
Well, that's why they're all badasses down there. You don't fuck with an Australian.
Evolve says, I'm a 19-year-old Aussie. Tang is a drink mix that was it was invented for astronauts, right?
Yeah, I think
or at least
so.
That's the story.
Something like that. It's orange Kool-Aid.
Yeah, it's just an orange drink mix. And it's disgusting because it's too watered down.
It's delicious.
I grew up on Tang, ready to mix orange Kool-Aid, no sugar needed. Except it's not sweet enough. Damn it. I swear it's not.
Well, you're not freebasing this stuff. I mean,
I do. I mean, no, you're right. Faithless says you didn't add enough mix. No, I tried. You don't understand. I'm a Kool-Aid / Flavor Aid connoisseur. Thank you very much. You know how those wine dickheads can swish it in their mouth and tell you like where it was made and what barrel it was made? I can tell you the color of the person who made my Kool-Aid. And I'm not talking the person who put it in the pitcher and I mean the dust. The person who made that dust. Sunny D is a mixer. I feel like you're using it wrong.
Well, if you put vodka in it.
I can only do the mild Sunny D. They have, I forget what the actual name for it is, but there's a milder one. The other one gives me fucking heartburn like hell, man. That's
me too.
Acidic drink, man.
Very acidic, yeah.
I can assure you it's possible to make Tang way too strong. How dare you? You're just wrong. Anyway, guys, it is an hour and 54 minutes in. I didn't think I was even going to make an hour because, dude, did I tell you I'm tired?
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired. We finished our game stream earlier and Satsu goes, Monkey, what are you doing? You going to bed? I'm like, yep. And here I am. That was at 11. Oh man. But I'm gonna go to bed now. Go crawl into my big old bed next to my beautiful wife and stare at the clock for a few hours.
Well, something to do.
Here's the beautiful part of it though, Jack. If I don't get sleep, I'm taking tomorrow off. And I don't mean off the show and everything. I mean during the day. Kids are all back home. Lady Monkey will be working. I'll be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm staying in this bed and I'm getting as many naps as I can.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's just how I do it. It's just how I do it. After party, yay. No after party. That is a promise. Well, no. Okay, let me back that up. Hold on. If a major news story breaks, then yeah, I'll jump on and do an after party. Like if Klobuchar or Warren were to drop out tomorrow, I'd probably do an after party on it. But short of that, short of an actual major news story, yeah, I'm not. No. If I get tons of sleep and I wake up, then I'm actually probably going to play a video game and actually try to remember what I'm doing this time. Monkey's going to spend all day whacking it. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming and hanging out. Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are so amazing. And I appreciate you more than I could ever express. Best audience in the world. I will bite anyone who says different. Jack, is there anything you'd like to show?
I'll throw a link to a video. And thank you for the donations, everybody. It's very helpful.
I watched your latest one on Conan. Was it Volume 2?
Oh, yeah, the Serpent Crown. Or Serpent War.
And I wanted to ask you, and I meant to put it in the comments, and I got distracted, and I don't remember why I got distracted. When you're naming off the people involved, one of the story contributors, it's one of the last people you named. They had a very famous name, and I can't remember who. So I'm glad I had this conversation. No, but I was wondering, I'll have to go back and watch it again to pick up the name. Because I was wondering if it was the famous person, like they're an actor or something.
Are you thinking of Frank Diamarta?
No, that's not a name I'd know.
Jim Zub.
God damn it. I'm going to pull it up right now. You guys will hang out for a minute, right? Just
it should be in the description. I put all the names down there.
Did you?
In the description, yeah.
Shit. I just did something bad.
Uh-oh.
I was on the chat window when I clicked the button. Oops. Got to open that in a new tab. There we go. You said it's in the description. Where the fuck did it go? Here it is. I don't see the names down there.
Yeah, I put it in every video.
There it is. Those aren't the names. I feel like you're lying to me, Jack.
No, those are all the people that worked on the book.
Now I have to watch. Guys, we're going to Jack's video for a minute. I want to remind you, Jack, I'm really tired.
So I noticed that.
I may be imagining things.
You might be.
Can I jack your video? I need your permission.
I don't care.
All right. I'm going to get a copyright strike from Jack. Watch.
I'm too lazy for that.
Strange and exciting, dangerous adventures.
Up all the way?
Adventures that will lead us to all parts of the world.
Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Conan Serpent War Issue 2. This is a mini-series from Marvel Comics. Written by Jim Zub, art by Stefan
It's a very green cover.
Color by Frank Diamarta, Vanessa Del Rey, artist on the James Allison sequence, Jean-Francois Bellew, colorist on the James Allison sequence, VC's Travis Lanham, letterer, Carlos Pacheco, Anarchy, and Frank Diamarta, cover artist. I do like the cover. It's pretty dynamic. It actually gives you a sense of peril.
God damn it. There was another name you said.
Sells comic books. Mark Basso was the editor.
I'd like to take back the last 5 minutes of discussion. I I swear to fucking Christ, I heard you say another name.
You may have saw it on another video or something. I don't know.
No, it was today, and that's the one I watched. Oh my fuck. What have I even done today, Jack?
I don't know.
I might be dangerously short on sleep.
I think you might be. Yeah, you may be hallucinating.
I would swear to God you said something else.
Are you even streaming right now? Are you sure?
Yeah, I can still see the end broadcast, so we're still alive. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Hotep said it. You're having a Mandela moment.
But no, I heard it. Eat a banana. I can't. I don't think we even have bananas, but
I may have made a movie reference or something that you heard. I don't remember. I've recorded that like a week or two ago.
I would swear to God you said somebody else's name in that. I wish I could remember the name. So then you could tell me, no, I mentioned that later in the video and you're just a moron. Which is probably true anyway. Jack isn't even real. Oh my God.
You've been talking to yourself the whole time.
And people are just watching me so they can call the authorities to get a wellness check. All right. You know what I'm going to do, Jack?
Go to bed?
Well, yeah. I'm going to take my medicine. And I'm going to take some grandpa's medicine. And I'm going to sleep tonight.
That's probably a good idea.
I haven't touched that bottle in months. It just sits here looking pretty and taunting me.
Well, it's evaporating right before your eyes.
Now the lid's sealed. It's tight.
Thanks for retweeting or tweeting out my video link too.
See, that's the one, right?
Yeah, that's the video we were just watching.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I swear to God, he said something. He's fucking with me, you guys. He knew I was going to catch it, and he's like, aha. Anyhow, fuck. Now I'm questioning my whole day, Jack. Seriously. This isn't good. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. Don't forget, tonight we're on Satsu 2 cents for Lords of the Night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And then over on 2 cents plus for some more Arc. Right after that, oh my God, that game is kicking our asses. Holy shit, they made this hard. They made it. They upped the difficulty, Jack. It needed it. There's a lot of people who play this game way too easy. You guys know who you are. But even on with no mods or anything, the game itself isn't that difficult until the new DLC. Holy shit. We're getting it figured out, but it's a lot of fun as we're doing so because we are failing miserably.
As long as you're still having fun, that's what matters.
I've been having fun the whole time. Satsu and Sinatra have gotten frustrated a few times. Is what it is. I just like playing games, so it's not frustrating to me to the point of like where Dark Souls was, where just leave it at that. What am I doing, Jack? We're closing up the show, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Everybody, have a good night. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Jack said a different name. I